What is up, guys? So today I'm doing a quick review of this book, Bridges of Light. It is Tending the Ancestral Flame of the Beloved Celtic Goddess. And who wrote it? It is written by Carol Crow, and Laura Loella is who did this collaboration. So what do I mean? I'll tell you about it. So my reviews, I always like to read what the book's about, so here it is. So this anthology celebrates Brigid, an ancient and mysterious Celtic spirit who ranks among today's most popular modern goddesses. Venerated in many forms, not least as a saint and as a goddess, Brigid has traveled the globe alongside her devotees. Once a goddess with a narrow territory, she is now an internationally beloved presence. While acknowledging her origins, this book also explores Brigid from the perspective of those outside of her original Celtic homeland. Packed full of art, poetry, stories, spells, rituals, recipes, and traditions, Bridges Light pays homage to the worldwide influence of Brigid's magic and lore, especially among the descendants of immigrants to the Americas. In compiling these individual works, the editors have given a voice to those traveling ancestors by showcasing a rich and beautiful heritage manifested through embodiments of devotion by their descendants, as well as many others touched by Brigid. So I didn't realize that this was going to be an anthology when I bought it originally. I just happened to see it in a local bookstore, and I saw it was called Bridges Light, and it had a lot of great reviews. And so I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and check that out. So what do I think of it being an anthology? What the positive shows me is that there are a lot of people who really love and connect to the goddess in their own way. And not only that, it's stories of their lives, of them being a mother, a parent, cooking for friends, and it also gives tips on how to set up their altars and how to give you an idea of how to set up your own. And since I love cooking, it has a whole section and chapter on recipes. So that was a lot of fun. With that said, there's all kinds of ranges of prayers in here that I was really shocked and surprised of. There is an actual prayer that really stands out to me to Goddess Brigid for people who live in violent and deadly areas in the world. And I was really shocked. So I'll read this one prayer because this woke me up to the life we live in and times we live in that I did not expect. And like I said, kind of shocked me. So this is a prayer to Brigid in times of violence by Jen McCauley. So Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. Bring peace to those who hear the crack of thunder from a gun in a place of refuge, who see the sunlight glint of its barrel. Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. Bring peace to those where shots are as common as the cries of sparrows, where each step on the crumbling walk is taken with held breath and a prayer half believed. Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. Bring peace to those who put the softness of their own flesh and the strength of their bone in the path of the bullet or the blade. Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. Bring peace to those with the swift feet or the limping who flee pain to preserve life. Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. Bring peace to those who sheeted in red, the wellspring of their blood spilling words and meanings on the ground. Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. Bring peace to those whose bodies are unmarred, but whose minds bear the scars of their witness. Brigid, Lady of Healing, fill us with your peace. So like I said, that's the one that stood out to me the most. I was like, wow, I wasn't ready for this, I'll just say, but someone living in an area that they see nothing but violence, they don't see any rainbows when they look outside, they see only dark clouds, then prayers like this would be for them. So that is beneficial to them, and a reason why this book needs to exist for people in situations that are not just always happy, but live in dark times as well. So you get real life stories, real life prayers, you get altar tips to how to set up your altar to Brigid. It gave me some ideas too, because I have some things in my home that I never really thought about using on the altar, and I was like, wow, that's a really good idea. So I'm really glad I got this book. And like I said, it's chicken soup for the Celtic soul, I guess you could say, because it is that kind of collection of stories and poetry which really resonates with this spirituality, since poetry is such a big part of the spirituality. And so this book covers every aspect of Brigid, from the goddess, the woman, and the saint. Every aspect of the goddess you could think of, they talk about, and people share their experiences of her and how she has affected their life. And so with that said, I would highly recommend this book. It's an easy read, being an anthology, because the chapters are not really chapters, they're just little articles. Some are just a page long, some are maybe 4 or 5 pages long, but it's easy to pick up again. And you can just pick up where you left off, and you can have the book finished in a day, maybe 2 or less. So overall, I really did enjoy reading the book and people's stories and lives, because nothing relates to me more than reading of other people's experiences. It gives you confidence on how you're doing things, that you're doing the right things, especially because this book has people from outside of Ireland, people in Argentina, people in America, Canada, giving their stories of how they love the goddess.